So today we have one of our members here. We'll introduce him here shortly. His first property, and we'll get him to tell a story. So I'd like to introduce you. Well, actually, before that, first of all, how many people here are it's their first time, or they've never been here before? Maybe you just joined not too long ago. I really want to commend you guys for taking a leap of faith. The ones that have already joined, I know how scary real estate is. And that's one of the things that the mentor program is really great for, is getting you through that first property, that fear. So congratulations on you for taking that first step. So with that, Ben Greer, please come on up. There you go. Navy veteran, so give him a hand.
Thank you.
So Ben, so tell us a little bit about your background, who you are, and how'd you end up here at Lifestyles?
After I got out of the Navy, came into Houston, got a job with the Houston Fire Department for quite a while. I'd been listening to Dale on the radio a number of years. One of those guys that Dale talks about, listens to a couple of years and don't make the move. So I finally got to the point where I was ready, and so I started listening, do 2 a days. And, I work as a nurse now for Memorial Hermann, so it's kind of where I'm at now.
So tell us about this deal. So how'd you find the deal?
This deal was from Jennifer McCormick over here in the pink. She brought the deal to me. It was in Baytown. I live in Baytown, so it kind of eased the first step jitters. I'm the classic type B personality analysis paralysis. Needed to watch one more video or go through one more lesson.
There's never enough videos to watch.
Thanks to Doug, I think he helped cut me off for that for a little bit. Anyhow, she brought me this property in Baytown. It's a 3-1. I think it was built in 47, if I remember correct. The initial price was $81,000. Whenever we went for the appraisal, it came back a little bit low, and then Jennifer helped with that, and they knocked the price off $3,000 to compensate for the appraisal coming in a little bit lower. So
how was your anxiety right about that point?
Well, I was thinking that I was about to take 5K on the chin. That's first time out of the gate, and you're looking at $5,000 loss. Man, I was like, this is not going so great. But and you can't say enough. People like Jennifer and Doug, walking you through it and answering the questions, helping you out at every turn. But so.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, and so just like Dave said earlier, don't do it for you. Don't do it for yourself. Don't do it by yourself. And so the team is really important. We're there every step of the way. So just remember that. So this rehab, it was a moderate rehab. The typical rehab in Houston right now is $35,000 to $45,000, probably $40,000 to $45,000 now with the recent increases. So at this time, this was earlier in the year. This was about a $40,000 rehab, I think.
Yeah, a little bit less, maybe 38.
38, yeah. So you got a bathroom. This is a good example of typical Lifestyles model upgrade.
How many folks watching this would live in that property on the right? Doesn't it look beautiful? See, we teach something here called best product, best price, and you're going to get the best people. So we're not slumlords. I just want all the new people to know that. And a really big question I have for you, really quick, because you're new. How much of this work, fixing it up, did you do yourself?
Actually, the actual labor in the house had zero.
There you go. Good student. We're here to be investors. We're not here to be contractors. I want to make sure people know that.
Another thing that we teach is work on your business, not in your business. So you're building a portfolio. You're not in there pushing the hammers and drills and all that. So good job on this rehab. It looks beautiful. And here's a picture of the kitchen. Was there any question on the rent that you could get here? When you started seeing it come together, were the dots connecting?
The projected rent was 1,300 to 1,350, if I remember correctly. And looking at the before pictures, and I'm like, man, it's going to be a stretch, but so. But once the remodel started coming together and you start seeing it take form and transition, then it starts to all make sense. The comps and stuff that you looked at beforehand, you're like, okay, yeah, I match up with these, and then they're charging $13.50 for their property. So it all starts coming together as you.
And as the rents have gotten so aggressive these days, I imagine when you go to renew, you're going to do really, really well on the renewal too. So let's go over the numbers real quick. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to read it over here. So the appraised value was 136. The purchase price was 78,000. Rehab a little over $39,000. The cash out of pocket, the cash that was in his bank account that's now in the property, $28,000. The rent, $1,350 a month. Cash flow, almost $8,000 a year he added to his income. Do you get that at work? Do you get those kind of increases at work?
No, I work for a major hospital. They don't do pay increases.
Yeah. Cash on cash return over 27%, and at the end of the day, you added $5,500 to your net worth. So good job. Everyone give him a hand. That's.
Thank you.
Really quick, I just want to hit on this really good because, guys, remember I said we should make about an 8% return? Yep. How many people in the room in your stock portfolio from your dividend-paying stocks are making a 27% return tax-free? How many people raise your hands? Nobody? Who wishes they were in this deal like he was? Give him a hand for getting over his fear and doing it. And if you don't understand the math where this comes from, the total amount of money he had to come up with for the new people, because I'll teach you where all this comes from in the seminar step by step, but he had to put up this much money. He didn't have to put up the money for the rehab. You know why? That gets wrapped into his loan, okay? The specialized lender called a hard money lender lent him that money. He had to come out 28 grand, and his profits after everything is 7 grand. So you take the 28 divided by 7 grand, that's where the 27% comes from. Everybody with me on that? All right.
Thanks, Steve. So great numbers, and from a cash flow perspective, this is well above the median. So really well done on that. So you had one quote that I thought was remarkable, and my experience with my first property proved to me the program and the team were real. And so at the beginning, are you saying that we didn't seem real? Or?
No, it's just like anybody else. I imagine 50 to 75% of the people in here, is this for real? Are they trying to sell you a gimmick, or what's the catch? Where's the hook? And be honest, man, once you get involved and you start realizing they're real people and they're really here to help, and I can't give enough.
I think Jennifer spoke real. Jennifer, she was very real with you.
Amazing. Yeah, that's why she's number 9 realtor in the city, right?
Yeah, Jennifer consistently scores up there. I think the last one was 9th out of 40,000, something like that. No. So what's next? The short-term, long-term goals? You going to try to do this again, or are you going to move on to bigger and better things?
Both, actually. Looking for the next property to get to the bigger and better things. Actually been trying to hit up some of the realtors and let them know I'm got everything back together, got the approvals, and ready to go again to find the right property.
Is Jennifer going to let you work with somebody else?
I'm not going to let me work with anybody else.
But that's another nice thing. I mean, Jennifer is more than willing to obviously get him another deal, but we work as a team. There's other realtors that are beating the bushes to find deals too. So it all works. So that's awesome. So you didn't do it by yourself. You want to do some shout outs to some people that were on your team?
Yeah, I got recommended. Well, when you get on the vendor list and you see all these different vendors that have been affiliated with Lifestyles for numbers of years. J&B was one of the general contractor that I used on this property. Did great work on time. I mean, it was truly remarkable to see all this stuff come together. Greenworks inspection. I've had inspections on personal homes. When you're buying your personal home, they take it to a new level. And then all the lending, refinancing with Catalyst, everything was smooth. I mean, there's really no hiccups at all. It was truly a remarkable experience, man.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And also your foundation company, you used I think I ran out of room on here, but you had a foundation company too.
Yeah, I did a small little foundation leveling. I'm drawing a name blank right now, but.
All right. So bottom line is your team, it wasn't just you, it's usually 6, 7 folks or categories all wrapped up, all working to the same end. So do we have time for any questions?
Yeah, we're going to take a couple questions, but before we do that, I want to do something with you really quick, Ben, because you're a newer member. You've done one deal now. You're still in what I call the, oh crap, scared. If this scared is real, now it's real. Think of the new folks in the room or the new people watching online. They're from all over America, just so you know. Don't worry about that, right?
I've been on TV before.
What advice would you give to the new folks that are thinking of coming to my seminar first time this weekend? What advice would you give to them?
Man, get there. If it's in Houston, leave earlier. Yeah. I'm surprised the cops haven't caught up with me yet.
Ben left about 2 hours ago to get here on time, so and he's right here in Houston.
But yeah, if you're planning to come and see Doug,
Dave.
Dave, but either one, yeah, man, do it. The longer you sit and wait, the longer it takes you to get started. Once you get started and you start to find out that, there's not a hook. It's just people trying to show you a map and help pull you along. That's all it is.
Right. And once you get through that first deal, the mystery, all this mystery and uncertainty, it's like, oh, that's what that was? Okay, let me do it again,
I mean, when you get a mentor and like with Doug, call him up, text him, you get response right away, and it's not something you're going to get in other programs that I've tried in the past. So, yeah.
Who agrees with that? If you had somebody who's very successful in real estate walking you through a deal, would you not feel more comfortable? Yeah. See, that's what we believe in that team there. So we'll take like 2 questions from the room and 2 questions online. Anybody want to have a question? Raise your hand if you have one. One right here. So the question was, I'm going to repeat it for the people online. What was the square footage of the house that you bought? How big was it?
It's right at 1,200 square feet.
Okay. Anybody else? There's one right here. Hey, you got a microphone. Look at that.
Sorry, thank you. When you went back into out of the hard money to a regular conventional loan, was that inside the 28,000 you had out of pocket?
Yeah, they added all that for that number there.
Yeah, we add up everything together, total everything, appraisal, everything. The total money that he had to write a check for, that's what that 28,000 is. Great question.
And you know that going in before you sign anything. So.
Now, if you remember when I did my speech, what did I say about the averages out of pocket right now to buy houses? About 30,000. Was he in that range? Pretty good, right? So that's great. Do you have any online for us, David? No. No? Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's give him a hand then. Thank you so much. Oh, we got one more. Go ahead.
Just a quick one.
Sure.
It's really interesting. Thank you for sharing your experience. So whenever you went through the process, did your mentors also guide you to the different lenders and contractors? Who helped you get it all together? Do they have people that they're connected with or like networked, or did you do that work yourself for best pricing?
So the way it kind of works out, the mentoring program, they tell you to start building your team before you even get involved with the property. So you start contacting contractors, insurance, all these different team members you're going to be using on the property that you find, so that you already have a contact with them. You already build a rapport. You have an idea of what work they're going to do for you, any services available.
And the mentorship and the education teaches you how to interact with them, what questions to ask, what are the important attributes of that type of service, and that sort of thing. So you know who you want to add on and who you don't.
And remember, tonight's for educational reasons. We're just showing numbers and stuff like that. In the seminar this weekend, I'm going to tell him, or tell you, or tell whoever, when we get into contract, we're going to have 3 foundation estimates, 3, roofers. I go through all the minutiae of how to do that. Our vendors, the members rate them, good or bad or whatever, so they can do research. Well, I did 5 houses with this guy, 7 houses, so you can look up homework on those people, and the members rate them. Does that help you out a little bit? A little bit more, but we'll explain more of that during the seminar. Yep. Great. All right.
Sounds good.
Ben, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Ben.
it. Sharing.